What if I told you Tesla's biggest nightmare has just arrived? While the world was watching Elon Musk, Toyota quietly launched a car that could destroy Tesla's dominance, cheaper, faster, and with technology that feels like the future. Stay tuned because what you're about to see could change the EV industry forever. Imagine this. The company everyone thought was too slow for the EV race just made a move so quiet, yet so powerful, it might flip the entire industry upside down. No flashy launch event. No billionaire tweeting cryptic announcements. No hype at all. Just one quiet reveal, and suddenly the entire EV market is holding its breath. While the whole world was glued to Tesla, waiting for Elon Musk's next big announcement, Toyota was working in silence. And then, out of nowhere, they dropped a car and a piece of technology that shocked not just Tesla, but even Chinese giants like BYD. The question now isn't just about a car. It's about a strategy. A philosophy that could quietly rewrite the future of transportation. Toyota has just reminded the world that the real game changers aren't always the ones making the loudest noise, they're the ones that change history without warning. And yes, Elon Musk definitely noticed. Today, we're diving deep into the car that's shaking up Tesla's world, why it's a much bigger deal than you think, and what this means for the future of the EV war. But first, let's rewind and talk about how Toyota got here and why this silent move might be the smartest play in the entire EV industry. For years, people said Toyota was too slow. While Tesla was making headlines, breaking pre-order records, and turning Elon Musk into a tech celebrity, Toyota seemed quiet. Too quiet. But here's the thing, Toyota wasn't asleep, they were planning. When other companies were rushing headfirst into the EV race, Toyota took a step back and focused on something different: hybrid technology. Back in 1997, Toyota launched the Prius, the world's first mass-produced hybrid. At the time, critics laughed. They said hybrids were a gimmick. But over the next 2 decades, Toyota quietly sold millions of them, learning everything there was to know about batteries, energy management, and efficiency. This wasn't wasted time, it was research. Toyota was building a foundation strong enough to support a global EV revolution when the time was right. Because here's the truth, jumping into EVs too early is risky. Charging infrastructure wasn't ready, battery costs were sky high, and most car makers were losing money on every EV they sold. But Toyota's approach was different. They didn't want to just be first. They wanted to be right. So while Tesla dominated headlines, Toyota dominated reliability rankings. They perfected their supply chain, refined their production systems, and turned their factories into some of the most efficient in the world. And when the demand for EVs finally exploded worldwide, Toyota was ready to move, not as a startup fighting for survival, but as a global powerhouse with decades of manufacturing experience. And this brings us to today, where Toyota is no longer on the sidelines. They're stepping into the EV game with something that could rewrite the rules completely. But this isn't just about joining the race. Toyota wants to change the race itself. And the first weapon in that plan: a battery that could destroy Tesla's biggest selling point overnight. Here, where things get really interesting. Toyota didn't just announce another regular EV battery. They revealed a breakthrough in solid-state battery technology. If you're not familiar, solid-state batteries are basically the holy grail of electric vehicles. They use a solid electrolyte instead of a liquid one, which makes them safer, faster to charge, and capable of storing way more energy in the same space. Let me break it down. Faster charging, we're talking full charges in 10 minutes or less. Automobile longer range, some prototypes promise over 700 miles on a single charge, nearly double what most Teslas can do today. Fire no thermal runaway, that's a fancy way of saying they're far less likely to overheat or catch fire. And here's the kicker, Toyota claims they're on track to mass produce these batteries within just a few years. This is a big deal because Tesla has been trying to solve this problem for over a decade. Even Elon Musk admitted that solid-state batteries are incredibly difficult to commercialize at scale. But if Toyota cracks the code first, they'll have a technology advantage that could leave Tesla scrambling to catch up. Imagine this. Two cars sitting at a charging station. One is a Tesla that needs 30 minutes to get enough range for a road trip. The other is a Toyota that fully charges in 10 minutes and drives almost twice as far. Which one do you think most people will buy? This is why investors, analysts, and even Elon Musk himself are paying attention. Because if Toyota's timeline is real, Tesla's biggest bragging right, range and charging speed, could disappear overnight. But Toyota isn't just betting on technology. They're betting on something even bigger, a completely different way of thinking about how we power cars. And this next move might be the most disruptive one yet. Just when you think Toyota is going all in on batteries, they throw a curveball. Because Toyota isn't just working on electric cars, they're doubling down on hydrogen. And this is where things get really controversial. While almost every other automaker is betting everything on batteries, Toyota is saying, wait a second, what if batteries aren't the final answer? Their flagship hydrogen car, the Toyota Mirai, has been quietly evolving for years. It runs on hydrogen fuel cells, meaning the only thing that comes out of the tailpipe is water. And unlike EVs, it doesn't need hours to recharge. It fills up in about 5 minutes and drives for hundreds of miles. Sounds perfect, right? Well, there's a catch. Hydrogen infrastructure is basically non-existent in most countries. There are only a few hundred hydrogen fueling stations worldwide, compared to millions of EV chargers. So why is Toyota still pushing this technology? Because Toyota is playing the long game. Hydrogen could solve a major problem with EVs, the massive strain on power grids. If the world goes fully electric, we'll need way more power plants, way more rare minerals, and way more expensive infrastructure. But hydrogen can be made from renewable energy and stored, meaning it could actually help balance future energy demand. And here's the part that makes this story even juicier. Governments in Japan, South Korea, and parts of Europe are quietly pouring billions into building hydrogen infrastructure. If that bet pays off, Toyota won't just be competing with Tesla, they'll be running a completely different race. This is what makes Toyota so dangerous to their competitors. They're not just following the EV trend, they're hedging their bets, building tech for a world where batteries might not be the only solution. But Toyota's disruptive streak doesn't stop there. Because while they're rethinking power sources, they're also rethinking how cars are made, and this next move could shake the entire auto industry to its core. If you thought Toyota's battery and hydrogen bets were bold, wait until you see what they're doing inside their factories. Because while Tesla gets credit for its futuristic gigapress machines that cast huge chunks of a car in a single piece, Toyota has been quietly working on something just as disruptive, maybe even smarter. Toyota calls it self-propelled production. Instead of cars sitting on a conveyor belt, these next-gen factories let partially assembled vehicles move themselves from station to station. It's like giving every car its own brain during assembly. Why does that matter? Because it makes factories faster, cheaper, and way more flexible. Imagine switching from making a sedan to an SUV without shutting down the whole line. Toyota's new approach makes that possible. And that's not all. They're also experimenting with gigacasting like Tesla, but with Toyota's signature obsession for precision and reliability. That means fewer parts, lower costs, and fewer chances for defects, which is bad news for competitors who are still struggling to scale production. Here where it gets really crazy. Toyota is also testing AI-driven quality control. Instead of relying solely on human inspectors, cameras and sensors powered by machine learning catch microscopic defects before a car even leaves the factory. The result? Higher quality, lower recalls, and happier customers. This is Toyota's secret weapon. They've always been known for efficiency. The Toyota production system is famous worldwide, but now they're rewriting their own playbook. And when this system rolls out globally, Toyota could produce more cars with better quality at lower cost, faster than almost anyone else. That's how you win the future. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the one that could completely blindside Tesla and every other automaker on the planet. Because Toyota isn't just building cars, they're building an entirely new ecosystem. Just when you think Toyota is just a car company, they reveal something that feels straight out of a sci-fi movie. In Japan, at the base of Mount Fuji, Toyota is literally building a city from scratch. They call it Woven City, and it's designed to be a living laboratory for the future. Picture this: a city where every car is connected, every traffic light is smart, and even the roads can talk to the vehicles driving on them. There are no traditional gas cars, only EVs, hydrogen cars, and autonomous shuttles silently gliding through the streets. But this isn't just a cool tech project. It's Toyota's testing ground for something much bigger, an entire mobility ecosystem. Hear what that means. Link connected cars. Every vehicle is linked to the cloud, sharing data in real time about traffic, weather, and even road conditions. Robot face autonomous driving. Toyota is testing self-driving shuttles that could replace buses and taxis in the future. Cityscape smart infrastructure. The city's energy grid talks to the cars, charging them when electricity is cheap and storing power when demand is high. This is Toyota's endgame, not just selling you a car but controlling the entire system that car lives in. And if they can make this model work in Japan, they could roll out similar systems in cities around the world. Why does that matter? Because once a company controls the roads, the cars, and the data, they don't just sell vehicles anymore. They own mobility. And that's a level of power no other automaker has right now, not even Tesla. But Toyota's final move is perhaps the most shocking of all. Because while everyone else is looking at the next 5 years, Toyota is quietly planning for the next 50. And what they're building could completely rewrite the future of transportation. So here's the big question. Will Toyota really dethrone Tesla? If we look at the numbers today, Tesla still has the lead in brand power, technology perception, and software innovation. But Toyota has something much bigger: scale, trust, and global reach. Remember, Toyota sells over 10 million vehicles every year. Tesla barely 2 million. If even a fraction of Toyota's customer base shifts to electric, it's game over for Tesla's market dominance. And let's not forget, Toyota is not in a hurry. While Tesla is forced to keep innovating at a breakneck pace to please investors, Toyota is playing the long game. They're preparing an entire EV lineup, a solid-state battery revolution, and even an entire connected city, all at once. Hear what could happen in the next 5 years. 2026-2027, Toyota launches its first mass-produced solid-state battery EV. 2027-2028, production scales up globally, affordable EVs start reaching every corner of the world. 2029, Toyota's autonomous driving and connected infrastructure begin rolling out in major cities. 2030, Toyota doesn't just compete with Tesla, it leads the EV market in volume and profit. But will Tesla just sit quietly and watch this happen? Absolutely not. Elon Musk is already doubling down on AI, robotaxis, and even humanoid robots like Optimus that could change the economics of car production entirely. This is not just a battle of cars, it's a battle of visions. Tesla wants a future where software eats the world, and cars are just computers on wheels. Toyota wants a future where mobility is a shared, sustainable ecosystem, where every vehicle, every road, and every city works together like a living organism. And that's why the story is so exciting. Because what we are seeing is the biggest transformation in the auto industry since Henry Ford invented the assembly line. Two titans, one from Silicon Valley, one from Japan, racing to define the future of transportation. So who will win? Tesla the disruptor? Or Toyota, the quiet giant that could change history without making a sound? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The next 10 years will decide who controls the roads, the technology, and maybe even the future of mobility itself. And if you want to be here with us as that future unfolds, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and join us as we cover every twist and turn in this incredible EV war. Because the game has just begun. Automobile.